Have you been able to like really settle down since the win on Sunday? Because I haven't. I mean, I'm checking the injury updates every single 2 minutes. I'm looking at Twitter, Facebook, anything I can get for this game. I am so nervous. This is not week 18 of the regular season. To me, this is playoffs. This
Yep.
is postseason. You're playing on Saturday night, and it's all systems go, man. How have you been since our victory on Sunday?
Yeah, it's been just constantly looking at what day of the week it is. Like,
Mm.
today's Wednesday. All right, man. I just got a few more days till Saturday. Like it's just me waiting till Saturday. It's me checking notifications for any Texans updates. It's me trying to see if Jonathan Grenard's going to be able to play this Saturday. It's me trying to see, okay, they're really going to continue to play Charlie Heck at right tackle. What's the deal with George Fant? What happened to him? That's a big question that doesn't seem like anybody has an answer for. I continue to look at everything, man. This is the biggest game of the year, and like you said, this is playoffs. This is playoff atmosphere at Indy. You gotta take care of business.
Man, take care of the business is one thing that we are just all hoping the Houston Texans can do on Saturday. And before we get into this episode, guys, we are brought to you by BetOnline. All the major sports are in action this week with the college football playoffs ready to kick off. BetOnline is your number one destination for all your sports wagering info, including news for pro football, the NBA, upcoming fights, and NHL games this season.
BetOnline has all the sports wagering info available you need with both desktop and mobile access. Head there today to get into the action. Remember to use our promo code BLEAV, BLEAV, spelled right there. Receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit.
Mm. Have you seen the injury report?
I actually haven't today.
So I have it right here. Let's go ahead and go through it. Now, it had a lot of people scared yesterday
Yeah.
because there were so many Houston Texans on the list. Here it was today. Will Anderson Jr. did not practice. Andrew Beck didn't practice.
Uh-huh.
Neither did Noah Brown, Malik Collins, Jonathan Grenard, Sheldon Rankins, Robert Woods, Laremy Tunsil, dealing with the groin, limited. So it doesn't look good on paper. However, Aaron Wilson, who does a great job covering the Houston Texans, he put out this tweet saying injury report was an estimation because it was a walkthrough. A lot of players who didn't practice today are expected to play Saturday, including Laramie Tunsil,
Mm.
Will Anderson Jr., Sheldon Rankins, Robert Woods. Noah Brown is not expected to play this week per source. Then a lot of people were in the comments saying, what about Jonathan Grenard? You did not mention Jonathan Grenard. He followed that up and said Grenard, Malik Collins, and Andrew Beck are still being determined for the game. So potentially the Houston Texans could be out Malik Collins, Jonathan Grenard, and Andrew Beck. However, I don't think the Houston Texans will be without anyone. I think they will be all systems go. They all understand this game. And if I was a Houston Texan, I don't care what was going on with my body. I am trying to win this game because I said this earlier, Harley. If the Houston Texans walk into Indy and win this game and head to the postseason, I'm going to call this the biggest year in the past seven. I'm sorry, the biggest win in the past seven. I could even go up there to a decade. I cannot recall a game where I said this was a statement game by this Houston Texans team. You do that on Saturday with D'Amico Ryans and CJ Stroud. That's exactly what I'm going to be saying.
Yeah, I feel that. I can feel that. This is a decade ago, so you're looking at all the way back to 2014. Yeah, I could say this is your biggest win, your statement win. Hell, you can make the claim that the Houston Texans have done that twice this year if they get it done at Indy. One of them being against the Cincinnati Bengals, a Super Bowl team that you really dominated for almost 4 quarters. You
Mm-hmm.
absolutely dominated them, and it made it look easy. So, yeah, I could agree with you there. I could see the Houston Texans being their biggest win, their biggest game in the past however long. We've had a few statement wins here and there. I will say on the road at Kansas City with redacted at quarterback and Carlos Hyde screaming into the camera really got you excited as a Texans fan and made you believe that maybe this is the year. And obviously everything changed in the playoffs. But yeah, no, I see what you're cooking. I smell what you're cooking.
Before we really get into this episode, we have the preview that the NFL does on YouTube every single week. This is a special edition because the Houston Texans are in a win and you're in situation. Just give me 1 second to pull it up here.
Big-time AFC South matchup to finish out the year. The 9-7 Houston Texans, the rookie hotshot quarterback back in the saddle, coming off a win that gives them a shot at the AFC South crown.
Stroud dumps it off. Brevin Jordan, he's in. It's a Texan touchdown.
Versus the 9-7 Indianapolis Colts, the exact same prizes on the line after they pulled out a Week 17 win.
Taylor on 1st and goal, trying the left side, and Taylor walks it in. 5th consecutive game, Jonathan Taylor has a touchdown.
On one side, CJ Stroud has the nice rookie resume, came back from injury last week, went for over 200 yards, no interceptions, 1 touchdown, rating over 100.
Stroud fires deep, sideline throw, and Nico Collins hauls it in.
And this is what we've seen from CJ Stroud all season long.
On the horseshoe side, dude who comes in off a similar outing, Gardner Minshew over 220 yards, TD, no picks, a rating over 110.
Minshew pressure coming, taking a deep shot. Pierce is there. Pierce at the 10.
That's a big one.
Touchdown.
Colts offense quietly has put up digits in 2023.
They don't
23
go away,
last
bro.
week, which is what they averaged for the year. They just need to be consistent. Last 4 games, they've ping-ponged between good and bad outings. Texans defense, they try and stay right against, held the Titans to 3 points last week.
Pressure coming, and he's going to be sacked. 5 sacks today. Give the veteran Derek Barnett that one.
Houston is middle of the pack in points per game allowed for the year, and Tennessee's offense isn't the best, but they held Tennessee's passing attack to 134 yards, shared a sack sixer.
And Levis is hammered. The ball's
Look at that old
out.
man. Look at that big man.
Sheldon Rankins will get a Texan touchdown.
Houston also held Derrick Henry to 3.5 yards per carry. Now they get Jonathan Taylor, who had a fine Week 17 outing, 96 yards, 4.6 a run, and a TD.
Jonathan Taylor gets the call, and there goes Taylor up the middle for a first down.
Indianapolis's O-line not only comes in off a good run blocking showing, they only let Minshew get sacked once, only hit twice.
Minshew escapes the pocket, throws, he's got downs in Vegas territory. Touchdowns, still going, and out of bounds at the 20.
Sets up a good battle in the trenches. Texans with 6 bags last week. Rookie Will Anderson Jr. with 2. He has 7 now in his first year.
From the 45, blitz is on, and he's going to be sacked. It's Will Anderson again. Back to back.
Pass rush versus O-line is big boy stuff on both sides. Stroud only took 1 sack last week, and he only got hit twice.
3rd and 8 for Stroud. He's well protected. And right on the money to Nico Collins.
Colts pass rush he faces 2 more sacks to their top 5 sack total in 2023.
Connell steps up in trouble, and DeForest Buckner with the sack.
Stroud is not taking on a stout pass defense, though, and he knows that because when he faced them, he put up 384 yards on the Colts, 2 TDs. Nico Collins went for 146 yards in a score.
Stroud from the pocket for the end zone. The catch.
Need more of it.
And Houston lost. It was all the way back in week 2, 31-20. It was the birth of Indianapolis Uncle Rico as Anthony Richardson left hurt and never came back. Minshew Mania was born, though, 171 yards, a 112.1 rating that signaled the Colts weren't done.
Minshew throws that way near the goal line. It's a catch, stretching it for the goal line. Touchdown! Kylan Granson.
It's one of the best Week 18 games on the docket. It's all on the line, so it's a playoff game, basically. Comment section should be good. Panel of 10 will be too, I bet.
So let's go ahead and look at the panel. Let's look at how many people have us winning this game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 compared to 4. So out of 10 analysts, 6 of them have the Houston Texans winning this football game. And as I look at the preview, the one thing that sticks out to me is the pass defense. CJ Stroud might have a game on Sunday. I think what this game is going to come down to is the Houston Texans defense that I think has been on fire the past couple of weeks. If you could get to Gardner Minshew is not a quarterback that can win you a game. He is a quarterback, though, that can lose you a game. You disrupt Gardner Minshew, you have a good shot of winning this football game on Saturday.
Yeah, I absolutely believe you. I mean, the biggest thing we see there on the previews, the Colts, their offensive line. And the Houston Texans defensive line, I know without Grenard at the moment, it's still not going to be very easy. I know we've added Barnett. I know we've added Tart. But Jonathan Grenard is a really good piece for you. And I think he's just gotten better with the surrounding players you've added, as well as Will Anderson, who's gotten so much better since that week 2 performance. I go back to week 2 and I see that the Houston Texans and DeMeco Ryans, he got outcoached by Shane Steichen, just to put it quite plain and simple. How do you respond? That's the biggest thing. You don't want the narrative. You don't want to go down 0-2 against Shane Steichen.
Yeah.
And you don't want that narrative to start manufacturing, the Shane Steichen have DeMeco Ryans number. No. That's what you don't want. And we all know, or at least we feel like the Houston Texans are going to come out strong. They're going to, play good football, and they're going to give it all. We heard it in the locker room speech, man. He mentioned, hey, the players were talking about 8 quarters. There's 4 down and there's 4 to go. That's a direct quote from your coach, DeMeco Ryans. Like, they are locked in and they're ready to go out there and battle. Like, they're ready to go out there and take this win. Like, that's what they're ready to do. It's all about executing. Let's get this win. Like, come on, I want it. We all want it. City of Houston wants it.
No, I think I agree with you, man. This is a big game for DeMeco Ryans.
Yes.
You definitely cannot go to 0-2 against Sheichman, but you have an opportunity, man, to move yourself away from every other Houston Texans head coach that ever had the headset on. You've already pretty much done that this season in year 1. But if you win this game on Saturday against the Indianapolis Colts, and let's be honest, the Colts have had our number in big game situations. They beat us a couple of years ago in the wild card. The Houston Texans had no answer for them. I go back to when they were 2-14 and the Texans had an opportunity to help themselves in terms of standings. They lose that game. It's just the Colts have been a thorn in your side since Peyton Manning. Yes. And this will be a great opportunity to not only show the Colts, but show the AFC South that it now runs through Houston.
That's what you want, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you want to replicate what your brother team has done in the Houston Astros. You want to replicate that success. You've seen it happen with them. You want that good luck. You want that to rub off on you, man. And while we were talking about this, breaking news, by the way,
just saw that.
Texans. Breaking news. Everybody, drop it. LT in the comment section right now. Drop me some LTs. Laremy Tunsil, back-to-back Pro Bowl selections. Congratulations to Big LT getting the back-to-back Pro Bowl selections. That is the guy. I'm very happy for him. He deserves to be Pro Bowl, regardless of all the heat that fans throw at him. They expect greatness from him, and I don't have no problem with them throwing that heat at his way. They expect greatness. He does amazing things. He gets too much flack, man. He gets too much for it. Back-to-back Pro Bowls for him. Happy for him.
I have some more breaking news.
Here we go.
You know who is not on the Pro Bowl list?
Go for
Rookie quarterback C.J. Stroud. Your 3 Pro Bowl quarterbacks in the AFC, Lamar Jackson, Tua Tagovailoa, and Patrick Mahomes. C.J. Stroud, unfortunately, does not make it despite having a fantastic year in his first year. Maybe he becomes an alternate later down, but I don't think so. I think he's going to be fighting, for Lombardi in a couple of weeks. With that being said, shout out to LT for making the Pro Bowl. I mean, when we traded for him all the way back from the Miami Dolphins, we said this is the next Dwayne Brown. This is your franchise guy. And he's been everything that you have asked for after trading 2 first-round picks. Shout out to Laremy Tunsil continuing to just add to his resume. This is one of the best left tackles in the NFL, Harley.
Yeah. A lot of Texans fans don't realize that this is one of the best left tackles in the NFL. This is arguably, the best left tackle in the NFL. You can make that argument. Trent Williams, I think, is better than Laremy Tunsil. But, you could have arguments all day on it. If Laremy Tunsil isn't the best left tackle in the NFL, then what is he? Second best? Third best? I'll take that any day of the week. So with all that being said, the trade was out there for sure. I feel like it was so much of a panic trade, but we're not going to get into that anymore. The Houston Texans got Laremy Tunsil. He's in back-to-back Pro Bowl selections. Happy for him.
Shout out to LT, man. This is a dude where, remember, not too long ago, everyone was wondering, does he what?
Pro Bowl alternates, by the way, for the Houston Texans.
Go ahead.
So we got, this is coming from Aaron Wilson, Jonathan Grenard.
Okay.
Nico Collins. Andrew Beck.
What?
And both your number 2 and number 3 overall picks, Will Anderson Jr. and CJ Stroud. All of them are potential Pro Bowl alternates.
Is that potentially 6, 7 Houston Texans as Pro Bowlers?
Andrew Beck.
General Manager Nick Caserio deserves to be Executive of the Year for the job well done he has did this offseason. 7 Pro Bowlers is insane. Run me that list again.
CJ Stroud.
Wasn't here last year.
Will Anderson Jr.
Wasn't here last year.
Andrew Beck.
Wasn't here last year.
Nico Collins.
Was here, drafted by Nick Caserio.
Jonathan Grenard.
Shout out to B.O.B., but that wasn't even Bill O'Brien's pick.
He was screaming at the television screen. He did not
camera.
Want Jonathan Grenard.
Hey, Nick Caserio, you take yourself a bow. You take those 7 Pro Bowlers and you dangle it in front of your haters and say, which other GM got you 7 in year 1 of the rebuild?
Hey, man, he does the Shannon Sharp meme. He just like that's what he does. All right. Hey, Andrew Beck. Hey, no hate on Andrew Beck. That man returned a kickoff for you, damn.
And that's crazy that he did that. That doesn't happen.
I don't know what else he did, but he returned a damn kickoff for you. You know what? Man, I can't name a second highlight, but damn it, that kickoff return though. That's the one right there. Did I mention that kickoff return?
I'm trying to think because I'm going through the Andrew Beck highlights right here, like his stats, and I just
a few drops.
See anything.
There's a few drops.
Yeah, and there's a couple fumbles.
Yeah.
Okay, hey.
But how about that kickoff return?
Hey, shout out to Beck. I was trying to find something to talk about him in his stats. Whatever. He'll get his flowers, like Frank said. Shout out to Andrew Beck. Shout out to CJ Stroud. Dude, this is your future right here, ladies and gentlemen. This is your future. If you wanted Indy indication, if you're on the right track, well, you find yourselves in a win situation on Saturday.
Yeah. And
you just found out you could potentially have 7 Houston Texans in the Pro Bowl this year.
I don't give a damn.
No. I'm not satisfied.
I don't want that shit.
Nope.
I don't want no Pro Bowl. You're in the Pro Bowl. That means there's more work to do.
What?
If your players are in the Pro Bowl, there's more work to do.
What?
You gotta go get that SB, buddy.
What?
We gotta go get that shit, buddy.
What?
I don't want none of this Pro Bowl talk.
What's in the chat?
I don't want none of the Pro Bowl talk, man.
What?
Come on now.
Dude.
We want that chip, buddy. We want the chip. That's what we want. I don't want to see these Texans in the Pro Bowl. I want them to, I can't go to the Pro Bowl. Why not? Because I'm in the Super Bowl. How about that? Like, I would love, I'd go berserk if that happened. Year one?
If you win this game, you could have conversations like that. You could have a conversation. What if this Houston Texans team wins the Super Bowl? Because as you know, once we get into the postseason, damn near anything could happen.
It's true. I mean, it's absolutely true. Someone dropped a K. Love that. It's absolutely true. You want to get into the dance, right? You want to be on the dance floor. That's what you want. Once you're on the dance floor, hey man, it's time to show them what you got. 0-0. It's a fresh look. No wins, no losses. The biggest thing, Houston Texans got to take care of business though this Sunday. Before we have that conversation, they have to take care of business this Sunday. They have to go into Indy and they have to prove any of the doubters that are still out there, because they're still, not doubters in terms of the season, but there is still that back of the mind, like,
I feel it right now.
I'm not all the way bought in, I'm bought in, but, like, I'm 9 toes down, like
about to be 10.
And that big toe is just not, it wants to, but no, we ain't gonna do it just yet. So there's a few Texans fans that are like that, and it's understandable. I get it. The last few years in the history of the Houston Texans show you that, man, can you rely on them? I just continue to go back to D'Amico's quote, man. Like, the 2023 Texans are not the same Texans. This is a different Texan squad. You've never had a coach like this. You've never had a quarterback like this. You've never had players to buy into your coach and perform even better because of him. Hence the Derek Barnett's, the DeAndre Houston Carson, Tierra Tart. Like, these guys are bargain bin practice squad guys. Khalil Davis, USFL. Like, you are getting results from guys that A, cut, B, practice squad from other teams, not even your team, from other teams, and from another football leagues. Like, this is what D'Amico is manufacturing here in Houston, and it's just the beginning. The future's bright. So you can just only imagine. What did Michael Jordan say? The ceiling is the roof. That's what it is in H-Town.
Cannot believe it, brother. It's really crazy to think about. And Remy says, shout out to Remy, dude. He's just so out of pocket in the live streams. What's up, my boy? Bobby got me believing. After the game on Sunday, Sunday, Bobby Slowik showed us that, he could cook up some stuff. You talked about it was CJ Stroud's first game back, 2 weeks with dealing with a concussion. The ball was out quick, and CJ Stroud, wasn't even touched besides that one sack that just came at the beginning of the fourth quarter. Other than that, there was no one around CJ. You have to give credit for Bobby Slowik for having a game plan. I think Dominic and Harley brought up, using Brevin Jordan as a fullback and, out the backfield, catching a pass, taking it for 6. That's what you want to see from your offensive coordinator. Are you nervous about Bobby Slowik heading into Saturday?
Man, that is a good question. I guess if I'm thinking about it, then yes. It's just, there's been times where you're going, man, Bobby Slowik. I know that. I think the biggest thing people don't like with Bobby Slowik at times is, you've seen good play calling from him.
Yes.
You've seen him dial up some fantastic plays, some fantastic stuff on the offensive end. And then you see these little spurts of just like, what the hell are we doing out here? And I think that's what fans are like, man, we know we can get more out of Bobby Slowik. And I feel that way too. I feel like you can get more out of him. And I think, obviously this Saturday, it's going to be a tough one against the Colts. But hey, Bobby Slowik's got to be on one. D'Amico Ryans has got to be on one. The whole team. Like, they know what's at stake. This is it, man. Like, this is the thing to do. Go in, win it, get out, take care of business, and job ain't finished after that win either. Like, the job ain't done. Like, this is old Mamba mentality, Kobe Bryant kind of style. Like, you gunning for next, bro. Like, this is it. This is the game. Playoff mentality, playoff mode, playoff atmosphere at Indy, where you can smell the horse shit all the way from here. Come on now. You got to take care of business. Got to take care of business, my guy.
I love the trash talk, man, because it's real. It's real. And I saw a comment where someone told them that a Colts fan said CJ Stroud was not built for the moment. Well, you're gonna find out on Saturday. I think CJ Stroud likes the big lights. What did he say? In week 3 that being in the NFL, I have not played in a stadium that's been packed like it's like it was at Ohio State. CJ's built for this, bro. You talk about the last big game he was in was that that Georgia Bulldogs game that Harley brought up, and CJ Stroud, that's what made him a top 3 pick in the draft. So I am excited for CJ. Games like this come down to who has the better quarterback.
Yeah, and we all know. Sorry, that was a good comment. We all know that CJ Stroud is the better quarterback. We all know that. There's no secret there. I think Colts fans would be delusional to say that they think they got the better quarterback in Gardner Minshew. That's delusional conversation. I don't think any Colts fan would say that. I think they would say that CJ Stroud is better than Gardner Minshew. The biggest thing is the team effort from the Indianapolis Colts. They've been pesky all year. They're just a pesky team, strong defense, offensive line. The resurgence of their offensive line play has really helped them out this year. Jonathan Taylor, he goes down, no problem. Zach Moss, he goes down, no problem. Trey Sermon, you're up. Like, it does not matter. They got a revolving door at running back, and they continue to run the ball very well. The Houston Texans got their matchups set. They shut down Derrick Henry for 2 weeks, all right, in almost back-to-back weeks, basically. Hey, I need a duplicate performance. I need it to be reciprocated on Jonathan Taylor and whoever else is running that ball, because that's really what's going to help you slow down this Colts team, is making Gardner Minshew continue to throw the ball over and over and over again. And I am going to entrust that Gardner Minshew, if he's going to throw this ball 40 times, I'm going to trust that this defense is A, going to make a turnover, or B, he's going to force one. And the defense is going to step up and get that turnover. Biggest thing, though, too, is the big plays from Gardner Minshew in this Colts offense. Alec Pierce is a big playmaker for them. He does his thing, man. He's averaging like 16 yards a catch. Like, that's huge. Pause. Like that. I'm for real, though. 16 yards a catch. I mean, come on. For Alec Pierce, a rookie, yeah, the Houston Texans got to stop the big plays. That's been the Achilles heel for this team. Seems like the whole year. I mean, we saw the Titans game. They tried it right out the gate. Traylon Burks dropped it, thank God. But, I mean, the big plays against the Jaguars game here at home continue to be a thorn on your side. Like, it's ridiculous. It's frustrating. Texans They got to do their thing defensively. They got to make sure they slow down the run game, make Gardner Minshew and this Colts offense one-dimensional, create turnovers, and put that ball in CJ's hands as many times as you can.
The good thing
that's
is
how much
that,
we trust them.
Yeah, is that the Houston Texans, they have a very good run defense. We haven't allowed a 100-yard rusher all season. That Colts game last week against I said Oakland, against Las Vegas, they were up 14-3 at halftime.
Yeah.
They almost allowed the Raiders to come back. What happened was their offense really stalled. Now, they were able to get the ball moving. However, they weren't able to finish them. And like Harley brought up, big plays. That's all the Colts were on Sunday. A 58-yard pass to Alec Pierce. He only had 2 catches on the day, but one of them was for 50 yards. The rookie wide receiver, Josh Down, had 50 yards on 1 play. Trey Sermon, a big 27-yard run. You eliminate the big plays, you find yourselves in a good position of winning this football game. And for anyone saying CJ Stroud is not built for the big lights, then what does that have to say about Gardner Minshew? Do you think he is going to rise up and step up to the occasion in primetime football? I mean, what is this, his third, fourth NFL team? Gardner Minshew is not him. It's not. I'm sorry. He is not. He overthrows wide receivers, and it's going to happen on Saturday. The Houston Texans are going to shut him down.
Hey, I love the confidence, man. I love it. I do believe that the Houston Texans can shut the run game down, even though my tone of voice sounded like they were going to have some trouble. But I do wonder, because this Texans defensive line struggled in week 2 against their offensive line. And then the same thing happened on the other side of the ball. The Texans offensive line struggled against the Colts defensive line. Now, granted, different offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
You got Laremy, Tunsil. You got Juice Scruggs, Michael Dieter, Shaq Mason, and what is now Charlie Heck. That should be your starting offensive line. Shaq Mason, I mean, we just saw the stat from PFF. He hasn't given up a sack or a QB hit in 13 games. I mean, there we go, Shaq Mason. That's why Nick Caserio traded for him, ladies and gentlemen, and paid him. Yeah, don't forget that. So this offensive line is better than week 2. Now, you are without Tank Dell. That's going to be tough for you.
Mm-hmm.
You could be without Noah Brown as well. I do question the amount of weapons you are going to have Saturday, just because, you have Nico Collins, you have Dalton Schultz. And after that, you're kind of fishing. You're starting to fish for catches. You're starting to fish for somebody to create space, create good routes, create space for CJ Stroud, and who has enough trust from CJ in order to get the ball thrown their way. John Mechie just hasn't really done it that much this year for you. I like the ability that Xavier Hutchinson has shown for you in the little spurts that he's shown. Robert Woods should be for this game as well. It's good to have him as a veteran there. I still wonder, this isn't the Titans, so this is a good team. This is the Colts. They're pesky. They're good. They got 9 wins for a reason right now. They've beaten some good teams as well on their resume. So this isn't the Titans team. You are going to be trying to fish for catches and fish for receiving yards from these guys. It's all about creating space and CJ Stroud in that offensive line, creating time and getting throws out in a hurry to do so.
No, 100%, dude. It's just, I keep on looking if there's any more updates. Are we going to hear any news? And who would have thought, Harley? Not us. The Houston Texans on Saturday win, and you are in. And how nervous are you for the run game? Jonathan Taylor, Trey Sermon.
I'm a little nervous.
Okay.
But I will say that, again, just my point was on the offense side of the ball. Defense side of the ball, the D-line is different. It's not Kurt Hinish trying to make a play in week 2. Now you got Tier Tart, you got Sheldon Rankins still, who was there. And I don't think he was there for week 2, actually, now that I think about it. I have to double check that. Malik Collins, we don't know, as Aaron Wilson, you said earlier, wasn't sure Malik Collins was going to play. But like I mentioned, Sheldon Rankins, Tier Tart, Will Anderson, who's just seems like he's just gotten so much better as the years gone along. Possibly no Jonathan Bernard, but
I think he plays.
I think so too. He could be limited like Will Anderson was in the Titans game. But Derek Burnett has shown he can fill in for that position. You have Myjai Sanders as well. You have other guys, Jerry Hughes as well. You have these guys. You have depth, a lot more depth than you did in week 2. There's a lot of things going good for the Houston Texans.
I agree.
In terms of grabbing those guys from the bargain bin and the waiver wire. So this isn't the same defensive line that the Colts faced in week 2. Now, you could obviously say that the Colts have gotten a lot better as the years gone along too. But I'm going I'm going to entrust that DeMeco Ryans in this defense knows the task at hand, and they know that if we can make the Colts offense one-dimensional, and we can stop the run game, and we can, take away the short passes, because that's Gardner Minshew's bread and butter, short accuracy, medium accuracy. Like, that's his bread and butter, because he's an accurate quarterback, but only to a certain point. You take that away from him, okay, now you're looking at this Texans team really, flexing their dominance over the Colts if they do that.
100%. 96 people in the chat right now. YNG said, and our linebackers are better this game too. No, I feel like this Houston Texans team has really came into its own, as well as other players. Derek Stingley has been just locked down. Will Anderson Jr. is becoming a grown-ass man. If you get Jonathan Grenard there, I mean, he has been on a tear before he got hurt. It is going to be real difficult for this Indianapolis Colts team, because I'll give them credit. They have 9 wins. They deserve to also be in this spot. I go back to just the quarterback, man. I go back to CJ versus Gardner Minshew, and I just do not think Gardner Minshew would rise to the occasion. What is going on, DJ Rocky B? Derek Stingley against Michael Pittman. I think that's going to be a very interesting matchup. Now, our cornerbacks do not travel. Do we see that on Saturday? I don't think so. I think the Houston Texans are going to put faith in their defensive line to put pressure on Gardner Minshew, make him make that mistake like he's been known to make mistakes his entire career. Ladies and gentlemen, we are, 3 days away?
Yeah.
Kind of 2 days and some change? 2.5 days away?
2.5 days away. Yeah, actually, yeah. Really 2 days away, because it is 7:24 right now. The game would be on right now as of Saturday. So, yeah, you are 2 days away. 48 hours away. Ooh.
It got real this morning. I mean, honestly, it's been real since the win on Sunday, because then we were just watching it, everyone else's scores. But
it was real for me before that game started. Let's be real. It was real for me before that. I mean, we're not going to get into those nasty Nashville MFers over there. I mean, we're not going to get into that. The game
we broke
was
them, bro.
We were. Come on, man. They talked about 8 quarters. That means they were just pushing aside the damn Nashville Titans over there. Come on, man.
Yeah, a little subtle shade. A little subtle shade.
Subtle shade. How about Hannah McNair?
Hey, shout out to Hannah McNair for you got the broom, Figgy. I mean, just dude, shout out to Hannah McNair. I mean, we got to meet her many different times at training camp, and just an amazing woman, giving us t-shirts every opportunity she get, taking pictures with the fans. I mean, this lady has a net worth of millions. She had a nice 60,000 Rolex on that you can see from the other side of the field. Man, shout out to Cal McNair for having Hannah balling, bro. I was like, Harley, look at that watch, dude. It was just gleaming in the sun. With that being said, with the 92 people in this chat, man, like it, team, and thank you for the $6.99. He said we can't stop a big play, and we play a big play offense. Worried. Well, yeah. I mean, that's what you're gonna have to live with,
Yeah, I mean, I see it. YNG. We'll definitely do that for Friday. We'll keep the the bottle closed for a little bit more. Ooh. But to answer the question, or the comment, we can't stop a big play. Yeah, that's a big concern from us, right? We can't stop the big plays. The Colts live off big plays as well, though. So they're also a big play offense. They should be worried as well. All right. The Houston Texans, sure. Big play offense, absolutely. But we know when CJ needs 3 yards, he will get me 5 yards. When you need 7 yards, he will get me 9 yards. Like, we know CJ can move the ball down the field. We've seen him drive down the field consistently game after game. So I am ready to say that the Houston Texans, I am growing optimistic about it. Houston Texans are going to win this Saturday.
Is this a game where we potentially see CJ use his legs a little bit more?
Little Georgia flashbacks.
A little Georgia flashback, a little don't forget about I can not only dice you up through the air, but I could dice you up on the ground. I mean, if CJ Stroud just starts using his legs on Saturday to get first downs, NFL defenses are not going to know what to do with the Houston Texans. Man, the chat is rocking right now. 96 people here. How you help us the most is by liking this live stream. Remember, we're brought to you by BetOnline. Harley, they all want you to get hyped up, man. They're dropping the what chance, but we are not going to do it just yet. However, for the 96 people here, please drop your score predictions for Saturday's game. Drop your score predictions. We want to see them. They're dropping the what's, Harley.
They're really trying, man. They got me on the edge, man. They really do.
We're saving it. Hey, man, I love the channel. Today is my wife and her boyfriend anniversary. Can I get a shout out?
You know, we don't shame monogamous relationships, polyamorous relationships. We don't shame polyamorous people. Enter the live stream. We don't shame polyamorous people. Bro. All right, you know, like, hey, let him be him, bro. Like,
shout out to you, Mike.
Shout out to Mike.
I'm crying, dude. I did not expect to see that comment.
I hope that doesn't feel like a typo. Why would like that? Mike, you got to get yourself situated, man. You got to show him who's boss. You know what I mean?
I promise you. You know, I'm not even gonna. I was about to go so stupid.
Come on, man. We got. He got to show him who's boss. You know,
show him who's boss.
He's got to show him. Bam! Just
you know what?
Just get that thing right on out there and show him who's the man.
After you're done with the wife, you hit him with the Goldberg. Guess what, buddy? You're next.
Off the rails. But that is a good little setup for the Friday stream. Cause we all know Indianapolis, you're next.
Oh wait, he said I'm the boyfriend. Shout out to Mike. Oh my god.
What is going on? What is happening right now? If anybody is listening to the recording of our podcast, which you can stream anywhere on our podcasting platform, Spotify, Apple, Google, anywhere where you stream your podcasts, we have some polyamorous people in our chat that have an open relationship, and Mike wants to shout out. Someone here in the chat is also, just banging his wife. Let's be real. And hey, man, Blue Boy 5995. Hey, man, don't you act shocked when Mike comes up and he comes out with the Glock or something, man. He comes up on you now. Watch out now. Oh, God, watch out. Watch your back. Watch your back, Blue Boy.
Everyone, please hit that like button. Please hit that like button, because I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened.
What is going on, man?
Mike is a real one, though. Hey,
Mike and Blue Boy.
Hey, man. Oh, and there's another Michael. He said, what the fuck? With that being said, we're going to go ahead and end today's stream. Thank you all for being a part of Why are you laughing, bro?
I'm trying to hold this in, bro. Like, I can't say what I'm going to say because I get canceled off Believe Network.
Shout out to Believe.
Shout out to Believe Network. Make sure y'all are checking out just not only the Believe in Texans podcast, but if y'all, like anybody of the bigger guests, they have a lot of big-time former players. We should be getting a former player, hopefully sometime, maybe the offseason, maybe this coming season.
Okay.
But if, hopefully, everything works good for us. I'll go ahead and say it, man. You can find my work on YouTube. You can find my work on YouTube at the lead _HOU, the lead Houston. We're on the road to 8,000 subscribers. Appreciate every single one of you that has liked, commented, subscribed. Make sure to check us out. Make sure to check out the Believe in Texans podcast. And y'all have a great day, man.
Hey, yeah, y'all. Okay, hold on, real quick. If there was a former Houston Texan, who would you want on? And also in the chat too, if me and Harley were to have on a former Houston Texan to join the Believe in Texans podcast, who would you have?
I'll be honest. Like, I think the guy I would love is the guy that actually is playing right now for the Houston Texans. Just got signed from them just 2 weeks ago. I would love to have Kareem Jackson.
That would be tough. Now he's kind of familiar with Believe, and why I say that is because the Broncos believe they're tapped in. They're tapped in. So Chris Harris is on Believe in the Broncos. So I would not mind Kareem Jackson.
I would not mind it either. I know people are saying JJ. We can't.
Yeah.
Arian Foster. Sorry. Andre Johnson. Kiss it goodbye. Like, none of these guys are gonna be able. CJ Stroud. I wish.
Can you imagine?
I wish. D'Amico, say less. I would. Believe me, guys, we'd love to get these guys, but the possibilities is near 0%. So I do like Antonio Smith.
That would be good.
That would be.
Does he still stay in the H or still live in Houston?
I'm sure he does. Everyone usually does once they get here. They love this city so much.
You know who else would be nice, but I doubt they would want to do it? Kevin Walter.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a Kevin Walter. Wouldn't mind. I would really like Owen Daniels.
That will be tough.
Get some OD action in here.
He said we thought y'all was talking about. We thought you was talking about talking the show with that. Well, that is what we were talking about.
Yeah, and even so, like, none of those guys are possibilities. Sorry, I hate to say that, but those guys are not possibilities. Brian Cushing doesn't even really watch football. So
have you seen his son's highlights?
Yeah. Sheesh.
With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, have a real blessed rest of your night. This was a crazy end of the stream.